Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to rebuild the raised beds. Not entirely. What we're just going to be doing is adding more dirt to them. So, I have here the exact same stuff we used last year on top of our raised beds. It's Fertilizer Ready to Use Ultimate Potting Mix. And what I've been doing is I'm getting it. I'm not putting a whole lot, but I'm getting it. I'll be like, oh, I'll grab a whole bunch, and I put it on. And I already did it to these two beds, guys. And it's not on there a whole lot. It's just enough to cover the top. But then, like, you dig up the insides. The inside is the dirt that I showed you guys before. It's the dirt from last year. I'm not putting a whole lot because then we would have like an overflow problem and the dirt would fall out. So guys, that's what I'm going to be doing to all the raised beds. I'm going to be using this, but this is going to be like the first garden update, and it's preparing the garden or whatever. I'll name it something. But besides those raised beds, what I'm also going to be doing is this. So I have a bunch more bags of these. Oh, those planes kind of get me mad, but I have a couple more bags I'm going to be using. And I also have this this topsoil, and also what's called is back to earth. Now that stuff is right here. I emptied out a whole bunch of bags into this wheelbarrow, and it's like, oh, it's very, very, very nice dirt. What I'm going to be using that for is, if you'll follow me, because I have some interesting things, some interesting ideas for the garden. I'm going to be adding them to these buckets that I have here. Now these buckets, I'm going to be using the little buckets, big buckets, everything. I'm going to be adding the dirt into these, and then I'm going to be doing herbs in these buckets. I've never done a whole lot of herbs, so I want to keep them kind of organized. And I'm going to be doing them in these buckets, but in the same area as my raised beds. So I'll show you guys the finished product and what those look like. And also, I'll show you guys right now, but I have this compost from last year, if you remember. I'm going to be mixing that up, mixing it in with this over here. Let me show you. Let me walk back. Mixing it in with this. This, my friends, is steer manure from a bag. And I'm going to be using those to sprinkle on top of and infuse the dirt around my vegetables when I plant them. So those are the dirts that I'm going to be using for my garden, and also some of this peat moss. This is like it's like an organic moss basically, and it'll degrade into the soil. So I'm going to be using that for everything, and kind of in place of the peat moss as well. So just around the stuff. So guys, this is just an update, and an update for like the garden as a whole, because I haven't started planting yet. That will come soon, but this is just the preparations before we get there. So yesterday, me and my brother, this is zone 2, me and my brother took a flamethrower to it, a literal flamethrower, to this area. And we started burning it. You can see some of the burnt spots around here. We started burning it so that we can just kind of revitalize this area, kill all the weeds and grass seeds that were here, because there was a whole lot of them. And then what we're going to do is, this is going to be my brother's area. He promised me, I know he promised last year, but he promised me again that he's going to work on this area. So that's why we took all these things out, so we could burn it, and we didn't burn the wood. So yeah, guys, let me also show you some of the fertilizer that I'm using for my beds. I haven't done the peat moss or the potting soil on here yet. I have this stuff. It's nitrate of soda, and it's basically 1600, so it's pure pure nitrogen. And I've been adding it in. See, there's like little white spots. That's the nitrate of soda. I'm adding those into the dirt just to infuse it with some nutrients that might have been taken out last year. So that's what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go ahead and fill in the rest of the raised beds with the potting soil, and I'll show you guys how it looks. All right, guys, well, I'm done with the potting soil, so I'm just gonna wet that down. But before I do that, I wanted to show you guys the food I'm gonna be using for my my fruit trees. So this is fruit, citrus, and pecan food by Fertilizer. It's a 1910-5. Just so you guys could see, that's what I'm gonna be using for the fruit trees. So if we come over here, you guys know I have my apple tree, my apricot, my quince tree. I already watered them today, but what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna add some of this. I'm gonna add it into their little holes right there, so that they could start soaking it up. So just so you guys know what I use, that is the fertilizer I'm gonna be using this year. So it says helps promote vigorous tree growth and generous yields of fruit or nuts. So it's the spring, and they're barely starting to get their leaves back. So it's a perfect food to use, in my opinion. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. So let me go ahead and do that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, it's starting to look familiar. There being water and rich dirt everywhere. It's very similar to last year. So I just wanted to show you guys a couple things. Let me guys show you this plum tree. This is the plum tree that I'm really happy about, because last year, if you guys remember, it was like the first to lose its leaves, and I just really wasn't like wowed by it, but look at how vigorous it's come back this spring. It's so awesome. All the trees are doing great. All of them have come back, and then they're doing really awesome, but I just want to show you guys, look at this apricot. They're all wet. I wet down the soil as a little tangent. I wet the soil just to get the soil acclimated to holding water. So I didn't use a whole lot of what's it called, potting soil, because you guys remember last year I used like half of this entire raised bed was potting soil, and we had some problems with the plants not able to actually hold on to the soil, and they were falling over. So to combat that this year, I've only added a little bit of potting soil, and I just wet it down just so it could acclimate to holding a little bit more water. But let me show you guys, look at this. Look at that. That, my friends, is an apricot. These, my friends, are apricots. There's apricots all over this thing. Look at those. Look at how awesome those are. It's covered in it, guys. Last year we had one. This year, this is the third year we've had this apricot, and it's doing awesome. The slowest to leaf out, I think, is the apple here, because it barely leafed out a couple days ago. In comparison to like these dudes have been at it for 2 weeks already. So that's that, guys. This part of the garden, zone 2, I'm leaving for my brother. I said it last year and I'll say it again, but I'm gonna leave it for my brother. And I just wanted to show you guys this. This is a 2-year-old onion that I planted from seed. Look at this onion. Look at that thing. Compare that to my hand. Look at how big that onion is. That's a 2-year-old onion. And those are 2-year-old onions, but those are like the smaller kind. I planted those from seed, and I just left it here, and there we go. So that's that, guys. This is just like a quick little introductory video for the garden. So let's go ahead and fill those herb containers. Okay, guys, well, I went ahead and filled all these buckets that I'm going to use for herbs, but just as like a precaution, I just wanted to say this dirt is not actually what you would I mean, you could plant in it, but I've never actually used it solely for planting. It's used as an additive to break up clayish soil, which we have around here, and that's why we sell it at the stores here. It's used as an additive, so I don't know how well it's going to do as a pure soil to plant in, because normally I plant in a mixture of this and potting soil and the dirt that we have here. So who knows how it's going to go. I may add a little potting soil on top, since I have some left over, and some peat moss left over. So I'm going to add a little bit on top. But let me show you how I'm going to arrange them. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, well, this is the temporary setup. I don't know if this is going to be actually how I'm going to set it up when I plant the herbs, but I have 2 buckets here, 3 buckets there, and 4 buckets over there behind the trees. That makes the most reasonable sense, in my opinion, on where to put them. So I think that's where they're gonna go for now, unless maybe I find a better spot before I plant. Then that'll be that. But guys, I don't know when I'm gonna get the plants. It's Monday, March 14th. Well, I could get the plants. I don't know when I'm gonna get the time to plant them. That's the thing. So it may be in a couple days, which is what I'm hoping. This is the, remember guys, we had some really awesome chilies here last year, so I covered them with the frost blanket. They didn't make it, so I could go ahead and take this off now, I guess. But, so that's that, guys. I don't think, I'm gonna plant stuff in here again, but I'm gonna plant chilies here again because the chilies did so great, and I'm gonna leave the really sandy soil. I'm not gonna add anything else to it. Maybe just some fertilizer, because I really like that. So yeah, guys. Oh, there's a bag. So yeah, guys. I hope you enjoyed this this update, this preparation update. I got a lot of things planned, and yeah, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.